All right, it's preparing, sweetheart.
All right.
We're all set. We're live.
All right.
It looks like there's a bit of delay. So for those of you that saw me trying to figure out how to turn on YouTube Live, bear with me because it's our first time going live through the group. And I'm so extremely excited. And I wanted, all right, let me turn that off so we don't have an echo. Remember I talked about that, Anne-Marie? Yeah, so the second you get into YouTube Live, you need to go ahead and exit out or else there's an echo. So let me go ahead and make sure that I can see your comments and chats. Give me just a second and I'll go ahead and go live. So I'm really excited because today, first of all, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Galit Ventura Rosen and I'm a women empowerment and business mentor. I'm really excited because we have a private group on Facebook called Women Empowering Women where I spotlight a different woman every Wednesday morning. And one of my favorite things to do is spotlight women that are out there living their purpose and passion and really doing what they love and serving. So today is our first time using the spotlight or sharing the spotlight of the member on YouTube Live. So make sure if you have any questions, go ahead and chat. And I will go ahead and get started with our beautiful Lawes-Talley. I love that. I love, love, love the last name. Anne-Marie is an entrepreneur who is passionate about improving mental and behavioral health for those that work in the field. And we're going to be talking a little bit about a great topic today that we'll get started with in a second. But just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and anything else you want us to know.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. As Galit said, I am Lawes-Talley, and welcome to my studio. This is the Laws of Life studio, and I love showing off my paintings. And I just want to say, everyone, I loved how we've been showing how strong we are in supporting each other. And I dedicated my Vegas Strong painting behind there to that. And with
that is just gorgeous. I saw that on Facebook, Anne-Marie, and I know you saw my comments, but wow. So for those of you that don't know, Anne-Marie and I both live in Las Vegas, and that's how we met. So when I see that, I'm just completely dumbfounded by it. It's just gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's exactly how I feel about the camaraderie of how we came together on that tragic day. So with that being said, and being that I'm in my studio, I paint. I'm a finger painter, and I do that professionally. And a little bit more about myself, I got into finger painting and my passion of taking care of myself because of my connection to the mental health, behavioral health, and substance abuse world. And I was a full-time counselor. While I was counseling, I realized that it was overwhelmingly stressful and I was hitting burnout way too quickly. And I had to find an outlet, a healthy outlet.
Absolutely.
And what ended up happening was I've collected a whole lot of art supplies and craft supplies from Michael's, my play store, it's my playground. And one day I started painting and it never stopped. And I literally felt so much better that I started sharing my work and how therapeutic, deliberately taking care of ourselves can look like for other people. And I did that with my coworkers from a number of nonprofit agencies that I've worked with while living in Nevada, Las Vegas thus far, and I've been received very well.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a very needed thing. My background, and so I can relate so much, is I got my master's degree in therapy, completed my practicum, which means I spent over 800 hours in front of clients. As I don't practice now, I took my therapy degree and now I instead help women and empower women to overcome their obstacles. But I know from being in the field for the time that I was, which is about 2 years, that there is a dire need for something like this because I actually, Anne-Marie, you're going to giggle, and I'm sure you had this experience too. Some of my clients were therapists.
Yeah.
Therapists see therapists.
Yeah.
because they need an outlet. So I love that we're going to be talking about this today. We're going to be talking, the topic that we're going to be talking about is deliberate self-care and how it can play a vital role in increasing employee satisfaction as well as within yourself if you're a solopreneur. So I'm really excited to get started on that topic and what you're going to share with us and how we can make sure we take care of ourselves.
Yes, yes. So in the midst of getting through my stressors and anxiety and depression as a counselor, I discovered self-care. And I said, you know what, I'm not attached to it. I'm going to have to add something else to it. And deliberate self-care was born. And when I say that to others, they get the idea instantly that they're deliberately taking the time to fill their cup and feel better, and everyone else gets the benefit from that.
Absolutely.
When we are not at our 100% or even just feeling good, we're not inclined to share those feelings with others. We'll share the negative ones. And I spent so much time in the organizations I worked for, and I saw that happen over and over again with our clients. And our client satisfaction was not high, and our employee satisfaction was very, very low. And in our field, there is a high turnover rate. And it's not just counselors, it's anyone in the supportive role of a nonprofit or charity that works in mental health, behavioral health, substance abuse. There's a high turnover. And I heard no talk about programs that are set into place to have healthier work environments.
Right.
It really infuriated me because it's the total opposite of being, in human services, the human portion. So I decided to do something about it and just follow my passion and not sit in that type of work environment anymore. So instead of looking for another job to, as an addiction counselor, I said, you know what? I don't want to fall into this next environment again. I'm going to create a new program with all the things we know and just put it together really well. So employees, counselors that are employees, direct support staff that are employees, or solopreneurs that work with others can understand that there's a support community. There are coping skills to be learned. There is so much we can do to really bring life to ourselves so we can actually bring life to others. And one of the things that I really want to bring home for everyone is that we do very well at identifying problems, very well at that. So much so that we hyper focus on it.
Absolutely. It's a natural instinct to hyper focus on our problems. Yes.
Exactly. And
absolutely.
The paradigm shift that Laws of Life brings is to focus on the solutions.
Beautiful.
And the solution actually starts with us, with me, with you personally, taking your power and showing that, deliberately. And Laws of Life, what I do is I work on reward systems and incentive systems to ensure that, we're reinforcing these behaviors.
Sure.
Over and over again. And in turn, the reason why I work in employee relations is there's a direct correlation with happy employees, happy customers.
Of course. So why don't you give us some tips that if you do have employees, let's talk about that piece a little bit, something that our audience can walk away with and implement, as well as if you're working for yourself, so that way they can make sure that they're implementing deliberate self-care. And I really love that word, because at the end of the day, if you're anything like me, I live and breathe by my Google Calendar, and I actually write these things in. So myself, Anne Marie, Fridays, I don't see any clients, and Friday is create day and self-care day for me. So Fridays are the days that I get my nails done. Now, sometimes I cheat. Yesterday, I got my nails done. So sometimes if I have the extra time in the middle of the day, I'll just sneak out. But I know that Monday through Thursday, I'm very crystal clear focused on my business. Fridays, I'm either creating or I'm self-caring. So deliberate for me means put it in your calendar and make an appointment. But I'd love to hear what deliberate is for you and what tips we can give them so they can start right away, because this is so important.
Okay, so what's very important, and that's at the top of the list, is values. And values means you have to set healthy boundaries for yourself.
Right.
Also understand that your values and your boundaries is a direct reflection of how others will be treating you and how you'll be treating yourself. So
Absolutely.
no one else will. So if you're putting it on your calendar, like you say, Galit, that you have self-care day, you have creative day, the day that you're going to do your nails, everybody respects that. And you know what? I'm going to say right now, thank you for taking the time, for taking that break.
Oh my gosh, how could I take care of everybody else I do if it's not, for me, it's a no-brainer. But I do have to tell you this, Anne-Marie, it's something that I learned with age. I feel like when we're in our 20s, we're go, 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 and we burn out. I feel like as we get older, we get smarter. So in the sense of taking care of ourselves and recognizing that having 3 children, being a single mom, 2 dogs and 2 bunnies, you're going to laugh, running multiple businesses and working with people all over the world, I can't be what they need me to be. And they need me to be something certain. That's what everybody expects. So I love that. So what else can we tell everyone that they should do?
What else you can do is take time to go outside.
Oh, I love that. My favorite.
Outside. There are many excuses that I hear from others. And one of the biggest things and the quickest way to change energies is to go outside. Not in the city. Not in the city where we see all these buildings, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can go to the masseuse and so forth and work that out. But really take the time to go see your surroundings, go see what else is out there, what Mother Nature has for you. Instant calming energy. Instant calming energy. That's one thing that I and my sister and some of my other sisters go and do weekly. We hike.
Oh, I love that.
On those challenges, and it's a metaphoric way to understand the struggles of our life, or just to celebrate the journey that we're going through at that time and live in the moment.
And nature is a big one for me. I'm very blessed to have a big backyard, and lots of trees. So for me, sometimes something as simple as just going in the backyard is enough. But Anne-Marie, I can vouch for that tip. The idea that I could be overwhelmed and going through so many different things with my business or my personal life, and I just even get in the car and drive to nature. And in a lot of cities, it's not too far. Now, if you live in a city where you don't have it, that's something different. But there are parks everywhere. Park is nature, right? Park is nature. Being outside is nature, having mountains or trees or the sky. So sometimes it doesn't even have to be as deliberate as I got to get in the car and drive an hour. But I love it. I believe that most people can connect with nature and absolutely have self-care. And that's a simple thing. You don't even have to make an appointment.
You really don't. And Mother Nature doesn't judge. She doesn't judge. That's one thing I really want to tell everyone.
I love that.
Doesn't judge. It doesn't matter your race, creed, color, what kind of sickness you have. She does not judge. She accepts you as you are. And you learn every single thing you need to know when you're in her presence. And that's just one of the other things we do. Another thing you can do is go paint with your friends or paint by yourself. You know, meditation isn't just sitting down and going, You can actually meditate and become one with yourself and understand what you're going through by quieting your mind, by painting. That's just one powerful thing. And that's the reason why I finger paint, and I call it fingering the canvas. I love fingering canvas. It's a perfect meld of energy flowing from my body onto the canvas. And then it becomes, my stress just converts and just transfers to the canvas, and I leave it right there, and that's that.
Oh, I love that statement. I love that statement. No matter what it is that you find that nurtures you in the self-care, because it's different for everybody. I love the statement you just made. I transfer. Those are powerful words. I transfer and I let go.
Yes.
Really big. So whatever it is that, now for each person it's different, and Anne-Marie and I know that. You want to really search within yourself. Most people know what calms them. Most people know what centers them. But if you don't, what can they do if they don't know?
What you can do if you don't know is...
What works for you?
Trying new things.
Okay.
It's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing the most about it. I can honestly tell you, I did not know what I was doing when I started painting with paintbrushes. I just started using my fingers and it came out. It does not matter. No one is judging you. Actually, you're your biggest critique. So if you're wondering if somebody else is stopping you, it's you.
Oh, always.
Really just trying something new, or better yet, go back to something old from when you were a child and try that again. And one thing you cannot forget is support.
Yes.
This is support in our ability to practice deliberate self-care, because our environments aren't allowing for, seemingly not allowing for us to take care of ourselves. We have to keep going, and we cannot keep doing that. Find someone, at least one person that supports you. And if you're not able to find that one person to support you, I welcome you to join my Deliberate Self-Care Network. I will be there, and I have other friends of mine who are professionals as well in their own right and field that can support you. That is what I created the Deliberate Self-Care Network for. So you can join these private groups or public groups. It's similar to Facebook, but it's not. It's really, really focused on what you want to do as an employee or a manager, a leader, or a solopreneur. It's really, really focused on it. It's like a deep network where we get to deeply support and understand each other and support each other through what we want to do. And you don't have to go it alone.
And I really want to make one point before we wrap up. Mm-hmm. Not everybody has natural support in their peer group. And that's really what Anne-Marie's talking about. So not all of us have significant others or family members or really good friends that are going to support us. If you do, that's absolutely wonderful. I'm blessed to have that. But if you don't, I need you to recognize that there's a whole world out there of people that really, truly want to support you. And so Anne-Marie's talking about some private groups, and we'll have her mention that in a minute a little more. But there's also local groups. There's online groups. There's all kinds of social media groups. A lot of them are private. Some of them are public. There's places where there are like-minded people like you. And when I say like you, I mean find your people. I mean, honestly, find your people. That's what Anne-Marie's talking about. Find your people. Find where you fit. I tell my clients, one of the first things I say is, when you start looking for that group, look at who's in it. Connect. Do you connect with their values, their morals, a lot of the things that Anne-Marie talks about? And so you want to make sure you find that support, because I can't imagine going through life without support. I mean, Anne-Marie, how do we do that? How do you... we're just one person. We can't do it all.
We really can't. And no man is an island. No man or woman is an island. We will get so far on our own thoughts. But when we realize that we are just stuck in our minds, we literally had a whole, I call it a vomit session with my girlfriend on the trails. That's why we go hiking.
Oh, I love that.
We literally stopped hiking for like a month and a half because we were getting caught up in all these different things we were doing and not focusing on, the important things to us. And at least we thought it was important. And we realized that we were so caught up in our minds that we got so far off track because we weren't there supporting each other physically and mentally. And we didn't see each other. We weren't in Mother Nature, and we weren't participating in stuff that we love. We stopped doing a lot of things.
Right.
Work didn't seem as sweet. It turned into something else that was not positive. So support is 100% needed. You're not going to do this by yourself. You don't need to do it by yourself.
No.
It's okay to say that you need someone.
Yes, huge. To me, when you admit that you need someone or need something, to me, that is the epitome of a strength. That is the epitome of a strong person. And it's interesting because a lot of people think of it as weakness, and it's so not. To me, it's the opposite. To me, I think you're almost selfish if you think, oh my gosh, I can do this all by myself, because when you get that support and you get that system in place and you get those people or those groups or whatever it looks like for you, now you have opened up so many doors to the possibilities, because we only have so much that we know and that we can do alone. We're just one person. And I always laugh, Anne-Marie, and say, and I like to sleep at night. So, right? Yeah. I can't give up sleeping. I'm not interested in that. And I like to sleep a lot. So why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they're interested. We'll make sure we put a link to your website in the comments as well of the video, but how they can find out more about what you do and how they can work with you.
So you can always find me on my Facebook page on Deliberate Self-Care. Oh, that's not the one. Laws of Life Consulting, LLC.
Perfect.
That is my go-to page. You can find any information and talk to me on there. And you can also join my Deliberate Self-Care Network. So I'll go ahead and put that link on so everyone can see it, but it's deliberateselfcare.mn.co. And in there is a self-contained group. It's a community, I should say. And there are so many resources in there. And the more individuals that join, the bigger it'll get and the more opportunities we can create for each other.
And the more they can support each other.
Exactly.
And find like-minded people in the group that they can connect with individually as well as in the community. Yes. So it's an absolutely wonderful opportunity for anyone that's watching. And Anne-Marie is offering this out of the goodness of her heart because she wants to help people. Now, of course, you also have a business. So I want you to talk for a minute about that because that is also part of your purpose and passion.
Yes. So on a grander scale, I also work in employee relations with organizations that would like my services and providing solutions to their high turnover and burnout and so forth like that. So I do leadership training, employee training. I can do individuals, and I also do paint parties, and that's paint and wine parties and so forth like that. I host them in different locations, so you have to pay attention to where they're going to be. And it's just a way for us to come together. It's one way right now for us to come together. The other way is through hiking. There are a number of other programs I'm working on to create as an invite for everyone to come in and try something new. So those are some of the things that I'm doing right now.
Wonderful. Yay. Thank you so much for taking the time. I think the topic we discussed today is so important. And anybody watching, sometimes we think that self-care is supposed to be last on the list because there's no time. But what we don't recognize, and Anne-Marie made this so clear in our interview today, is that at the end of the day, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of everybody else? And I always share that example, Anne-Marie, you know, when we get on the plane and they say, put the mask on yourself first before you put it on the other person or the child or whatever. How could you take care of your child or whoever's sitting next to you and needs your assistance if you don't put that mask on yourself? So that always reminds me to take care of myself. And so I hope that everybody walks away with that today.
So let me go ahead and say,
please,
a drive home. As you said with the mask, when I describe deliberate self-care to others, they're thinking, oh, you mean like when we go into planes and put our mask on first? Yes, the first concept of Laws of Life deliberate self-care is actually do self-care first. Don't
absolutely
fast, don't talk about, oh, at the end of the day, or the end of the week, or the end of the month. First. And the type of environments I'll be driving, solutions I'll be driving, environments I'll be working in is deliberate self-care first. Very first thing we do, because the last is not working and it's never worked. Do it first.
And it typically results in burnout.
Yeah.
When you don't. And I know when I was younger, I experienced that self-hand trying to run the world and everything else. And my kids, my house, my businesses, you just end up in bed and then you're no good to anybody when you're burnt out. So if your purpose and passion, as mine is, and as yours, Anne-Marie, is to serve others, you got to keep recognizing that taking care of yourself actually does serve others. It's kind of a neat way to look at it.
It does. It's not selfish. It's a beautiful.
No, it's not. It's selfless. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad that we're connected and you're part of our group. And I look forward to hearing more about all the wonderful things that you're doing.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Galit. This was wonderful.
It was fun.
We'll post the information.
Absolutely. As soon as we stop live, we're going to stop live streaming now. Go ahead and post everything. And if anybody has any questions, please connect with Anne-Marie. Bye, everybody. Thanks for